Kanase with another video for iCrafter. I'm so glad you're here joining me on this video. Today I'm doing a Halloween themed project. What I'll be featuring is my Matchbook stitched base. This is the tunnel card insert for the Halloween theme. Happy birthday wiper insert. Trust me, it works out. And the Halloween treat lantern. So I'm so excited to be sharing this project. But before I begin, please be sure and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. So I'm going to explain real quickly the pieces that I die cut out ahead of time. This is the Matchbook stitched base. I cut two pieces from the top flap out of thicker watercolor paper, one piece out of vellum, and then one of the back side of it. So these are the pieces that will make up the Matchbook base of this project. This is the Happy Birthday Wiper insert, and normally it has an interactive where the when you open up the card, the balloons come up behind, but I like this shape of that looks like clouds. So I took this and cut it out of watercolor paper, and I just trimmed off, there's a crease line right here. I will just trim that off so I will have the front half. And then the other piece I'm going to use, it's the tunnel card insert Halloween. And it is this one piece that creates this front panel. These are all interchangeable with our tunnel card, but I'm going to use the piece that has these spooky looking trees. So I'm going to ink up these pieces. I'm starting, these are the two fronts with out of watercolor paper, and then this other shape, the little cloud-like shape. So I'm going to use our iBrush blender brushes, and these are color-coded little blending brushes. So I'm going to start with orange with the spiced marmalade. I'm going to start in the center here. I'm going to try to make it pretty heavy. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. Just get some color in the center there. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to start down here and kind of, and I'm trying to make it pretty heavy to get some nice color in there. And I'm doing a little heavier on this piece. This is going to be used for a different part of this. I'm leaving one of these shapes blank, but what I'm going to do is take this one and I'm going to flip it up this way, and it's going to be, because there is a fold, there is a fold right there, so I'm going to go back in and I'm coloring on the inside of it because it's going to show, so I want it to have some nice color. Okay. So I'm going to start with that. That's color one. You could play with this for a long time and get some really beautiful blending. That's that one. On this one, I'm going to do the flip it this way, and I'm going to blend in some purple on this around the sides of it. Let me take this. That's a little bit better for the color. Okay, and then I'm going on this side. I'm going to, again, use purple, but not as much. Now, this is when a little more logic comes in. I'm going to be using some black soot, and again, this is on the inside part. Okay, so that is on the inside of the front flap. Finish it off with a little black across the top. Well, purple. And you just keep working it till you get to something that you really like. And again, be careful front and back that you're coloring on this, because you will get, that's pretty much, so you can see this is kind of more centered and this is more towards the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of color. I need to continue this color down in here because you're going to see this parts of this flap. Okay, and this one is primarily the purple on the edge. I'm going to add just a touch of black. Now the only one we haven't done yet, I haven't done this piece yet, and I will show you what I'm going to do with it. So now I'm taking this extra piece that I had left over, the one other front tab, and I'm going to run it through my iMotion die cutting machine. It's brand new, it's just out, and it comes with a cutting base, an adapter, and 2 pink cutting decks. So let me go ahead and run it through here. Let me move it this way so you can see it. So I have my cutting, the piece I want to cut, and I'm going to use this piece, which is from the Tunnel Card Halloween add-on piece. So I'm die cutting into a die cut piece. So let me scoot it up this way so you can see it. And I'm going to basically lay it, position it where I want it here. And I'm going to die cut it again. I'm just going to run it through the machine. Let me pull it back. Okay, and I'm going to situate it there, and I may hit there. Okay, so again, I'm just die cutting a die cut. Okay. And so move my machine over. So what we get is now the spooky trees on the front of the matchbook. Now these are interchangeable pieces that come with the tunnel card. That's why it works on this. I want to add more ink to this piece now that I have it cut. It's going to be layered on top of this, so there's a glow in the background. I want the inside of the trees to also have a slight glow. So like it's coming from the center, and then it's going to go outward into darkness, sort of like a spooky tree should look. You know what, I'm going to add more orange in there. You can see how the trees now have a center glow. This is going to overlap this, and you can see where the glow is coming inside. The last piece we have is this part, which is the backing of the matchbook. Now, this side, when you cut it out, there's stitching on it. It's very faint, but there is stitching. So we're going to turn it this way and realize that there is a crease line right here, and the crease line is going to go this way and line up. So this part is going to show, and it is going to show under here. So it should be black. I'm going to try to lay this on here. I'm going to tape it from the other side, basically. And this is just so the color doesn't go beyond this point, because it's not terribly wrong if it does, but I just don't want it to go on that side if I can help it. So, okay, so now that I have this piece is going to stay like this. This is going to be kind of the front and back of it. This is going to be an insert piece. So these two pieces, I want to do a little bit of spritzing to. And splash it on. I'm going to do the same on the back side when it's... and again, you're doing, on this particular piece, you're doing front and back, so you have to keep your mat underneath very clean. This one, you're only working on one side. So let that one dry a little bit. That one's looking pretty You see that? Pretty spooky looking. I'm going to turn it over, and it's going to go this way. And before I'm done, let me use my heat and dry it off. Before I assemble everything, one of the things that I need to do is on this piece is to cut off the excess where that crease line was. But I just cut along the crease line. Before we assemble it, we need to start layering the front piece. Something else that I have, now this I cut, this was also from the Tunnel Card Halloween. It has this haunted house shape. So I cut it out twice out of just plain black cardstock. The die itself cuts a circular shape and you have this opening. We just wanted the house, so I just cut it out and roughly cut the edges, and I'll trim them down when I'm ready to use them. And we're going to start layering this. This is the front of the matchbook. And it is going to have 2 crease lines. So this part's going to be the top of the matchbook. This is the tab, the glue tab that adheres it to the back. So you don't really need to worry about that. But the one that has the inking on the front and back, that's going to be our main base. We are then going to layer this on top. So what we want to do is have the haunted house tucked away inside there, okay? So it's going to be roughly like that. So we are going to cut this off more like that shape, and that's not bad. And then trim it off from the back end too, so we can have it fit to our front. So it is going to sit and adhere it down like that. And let me go ahead and just glue that down piece right there. Now, the next thing is this piece is going to go over it. I don't need the top panel, so where there's, you can see it real nicely there, the crease line, I'm just going to cut it off along that crease line. Now before I stick it down, I also have this clear piece of vellum. I still have I could see the crease line on this, but I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this and adhere this to that. So you can see it has a little bit of, gives a little bit of spooky fog look. Let me go ahead and glue it down. And I didn't put any adhesive where there you see the vellum, and it adds a little spookiness to it. Okay. But I still have the front that laps over. And now what I could do, and now I can attach the front to it, the top to it. When you glue it on, you want to glue the tab on the inside, okay? And you glue that, easiest way is to just glue that like that. We're going to build up the inside of it now. What I did, because the seam, this piece across the top is a 1/2 inch, right? So when it closes, I made I just hand cut this piece and creased it. It's a 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 4 1/2 inches, and then 1/4 inch. And it just creates a pop-up mechanism. Okay, add a little bit of liquid adhesive here. And my way is always just lay it flat, because it's supposed to make a perfect square. So you could lay it just down that way and then fold it this way, just so everything comes out nice and square. And it just creates a little box. I don't know, can you see that there? creates a little box, and that is your pop-up mechanism that's going to fit exactly in here. We're going to put another house here. I'm going to flip it over, and again with my pencil, I'm going to just draw some lines here so I know what part I want to trim off. So I have two of these little interactive brackets that I made. Again, they're a 1/2 inch thick, and I have this piece trimmed down, and I have the black secondary house trimmed down. So basically when it's like this, I want it to sit this side. So two connecting sides will have glue. So there's glue on this side and glue on this side, and I'm going to glue it, turn it on this angle, and right in the center. So now it's glued to the back or the top of the matchbook. And now you could push it down to make sure it holds. So the first thing we're going to do dimensionally is we are going to put this piece down. Add some adhesive to this panel, and we're going to add it right like that. So now when the matchbook opens up, it now has a dimension in there. We also have one more of these, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so we want to line it up with that. Okay, so once that's dry, then we're going to add the house in front of it. You just want to add adhesive on here, add the haunted house, fold it down so it's all aligned, and then reverse it. Just want to show you this is how it works. And the whole idea is you have this spooky little ghostly looking scenery, and then when you open it up, you actually see the house. I'm going to add, definitely the moon is going to be in the background. The Happy Halloween is going to go here where your sentiment is, and the moon is going to go back here someplace. It could go, you know, there's also little bats. It'd be kind of cool to do little bats in there, and maybe even have it on adhesive. I might add that later. But these little pumpkins, I'm going to glue them in the foreground so they're in there. So I'm just going to play with it and add all the pieces that I want. Oh my gosh, so I found, okay, look at those bats coming out from back there. I was going to put them on acetate and have them floating up there, but once I was going through this die set, it has this piece right here that has these bats that create this like a window shape. Well, if you trim away all the points that connect it, you get a whole bunch, oh, I don't know if you can see that, a whole bunch of flying bats. Look at those things. Isn't that cool? So now you have the layer with the moon in the background, you have kind of clouds with the bats flying up, the house with the ghost, and it all comes down to this nice, neat little matchbook. Yeah. Only other thing I'm missing is some ribbon. So I'm almost done. Let me go grab some ribbon. Oh, I wish I had some purple ribbon. Oh, this would look so cool in a nice, kind of to go with the distressed Dusty Concord purple. But alas, I do not have purple. So I am going to do it just in black. So here's our project. A little Halloween matchbook design. And again, it's a little foggy. You're looking through all these trees, kind of spooky looking. And then you open it up and it all pops open. And it's a Happy Halloween, and you can see all the dimension in there. So there's all these layers in there that all move about. So Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, please visit us at iCrafter.com for more inspiration. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.